On February 11th, 2012, the world lost Whitney Houston, one of music's most iconic voices, when she was found unresponsive in a hotel bathtub. Her story, like many others, reveals a darker truth. Addiction doesn't discriminate. Whether rich or poor, famous or unknown, it can claim anyone. In fact, those in the limelight often face the harshest tolls, carrying immense pressure, public scrutiny, and emotional isolation. Fame doesn't shield someone from pain. It often amplifies it. This documentary uncovers the harrowing downfalls of 19 R&B legends, once adored by millions, whose lives were derailed by substance abuse. Some overcame the odds and lived to tell their stories. Others weren't as fortunate. Once hailed as the golden girl of music, Whitney Houston reached unimaginable heights with powerful ballads like I Will Always Love You. But behind the glittering success was a life burdened by expectations, family legacy, and personal demons. Her marriage to Bobby Brown intensified her descent into addiction, and by the late 90s, her voice and public image were deteriorating. A comeback tour in 2009 highlighted her struggles rather than her triumph. In 2012, she tragically drowned, with substances later found in her system. R. Kelly, once known for soulful anthems and smooth R&B melodies, lived a life cloaked in controversy. Despite early trauma and rising fame, his addiction to drugs and power spiraled into years of abuse, manipulation, and criminal acts. Protected by wealth and influence, his reign lasted decades until survivors came forward. In 2021, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison, his legacy now forever tarnished. Diddy built an empire from the ground up: Bad Boy Records, fashion lines, and global fame. But behind the luxury and success was a chaotic world of excess. By 2024, federal investigations and accusations of abuse, drug use, and manipulation emerged. Once a mogul, he now faces prison time and the collapse of his billion-dollar brand. With hits like My Prerogative, Bobby Brown epitomized the late 80s music scene. Yet, childhood trauma and the pressures of stardom led him down a path of self-destruction. His marriage to Whitney Houston became a cautionary tale of mutual dependence and downfall. Despite moments of redemption, Brown's legacy remains marred by loss and addiction. As the lead voice of The Temptations' My Girl, David Ruffin once ruled the charts. But fame proved a heavy burden. Addicted to cocaine and plagued by mental instability, he was eventually dismissed from the group. His solo efforts floundered, and by the early 90s, he was living in obscurity. He died in 1991, abandoned and unrecognized in a stranger's car. Frankie Lyman broke racial barriers and topped charts before he could even vote. But without guidance or protection, he fell into heroin use as a teenager. Despite brief attempts at revival, he succumbed to his addiction in 1968, dying alone with a needle in hand. As the mastermind behind Sly and the Family Stone, Sly Stone revolutionized music. But after years of drug abuse, paranoia, and erratic behavior, he disappeared from the stage for over a decade. By 2007, he was found living in an RV, impoverished and disconnected from the world that once celebrated him. Rick James brought funk back to Motown, but his extreme lifestyle cost him dearly. Known for wild parties and intense drug use, he eventually crossed into criminal behavior, A prison sentence and deteriorating health followed. He died in 2004, his body riddled with substances. A trailblazer credited with one of rock's earliest hits, Ike Turner's legacy is forever tied to abuse and drug-fueled paranoia. His relationship with Tina Turner was riddled with violence, exacerbated by heavy cocaine use. Multiple arrests and rehab attempts couldn't save him. He died in 2007, a man consumed by addiction. James Brown brought soul to the masses, but behind the powerful persona was a man battling inner chaos. Cocaine and PCP drove him to paranoia and violence. A notorious high-speed chase and numerous arrests revealed the darker side of his legacy. He died in 2006, his body worn down by decades of drug abuse. Known for classics like At Last, Etta James's life was a roller coaster of brilliance and pain. Heroin took control in the late 60s, derailing her career and plunging her into poverty. Though she eventually sought recovery, the years of addiction took their toll. She died in 2012. With fiery hits like In the Midnight Hour, Wilson Pickett lit up the charts. But as the music landscape changed, he turned to alcohol and cocaine to cope with isolation and industry shifts. Arrests and declining health followed. He died in 2006. His glory days long past. Marvin Gaye's music asked profound questions, but his personal life was filled with turmoil, depression, drug use, and a toxic relationship with his father created a tragic cocktail. In 1984, during an argument, his father fatally shot him, a devastating end for a voice of his generation. Chaka Khan dazzled fans with her powerhouse vocals, but wrestled with cocaine and heroin addictions through much of the 80s. Facing financial ruin and a failing career, she eventually chose the path of recovery. Though her comeback never reached earlier heights, her resilience remains inspiring. Mary J. Blige gave voice to pain through her music, but offstage, she was drowning in addiction. Childhood trauma and industry pressure led to years of substance abuse and financial troubles. Thankfully, she embraced sobriety in the 2000s and began rebuilding both her career and life. As TLC rose to superstardom, Lisa Lopez's personal struggles intensified. Alcohol and emotional turmoil led to unpredictable behavior, including the infamous burning of her boyfriend's home. In 2002, during a spiritual retreat in Honduras, she died in a car accident, leaving behind a legacy of potential unfulfilled. Donny Hathaway's velvet voice brought warmth to millions, but schizophrenia haunted him. Combined with addiction, it led to increasing instability. He died in 1979, falling from a New York hotel window, his final moments shrouded in tragedy and unanswered questions. El DeBarge had one of the smoothest voices of the 80s, but abuse, addiction, and financial ruin stripped him of his fame. After years of arrests and relapses, he made a brief return in 2010. Still, his light never shone quite as brightly again. As part of Jodeci, K.C. Haley captivated audiences. But behind the scenes, alcohol and drug use consumed him. His health and finances collapsed. By the 2010s, he performed seated, physically broken by years of addiction. These are the untold chapters of R&B royalty, tales of triumph overshadowed by torment. Addiction doesn't care how high someone climbs. Its grip is unforgiving. These artists gave us unforgettable music, but many paid the highest price. Some found redemption. Others faded into history as warnings of fame's dark side. What are your thoughts? Have we missed a story that should be told? Share below and subscribe to learn more about the bittersweet truths behind the music.